Lesson number 4 from Monday, January 23rd. What portion for offerings? Deuteronomy 16:17 says, "Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord your God, which he has given you." Rather than a percentage, what criterion does God give as the basis for the amount of our offerings? Our offerings are an acknowledgement and expression of our gratitude to God for His abundant gifts of life, redemption, sustenance, and constant blessings of many kinds. So, as we noted in the passage above, the amount of our offering is based on what we have been blessed with. Luke 12:48 says, "For everyone to whom much is given, from him much will be required." Psalms 116:12-14 says, "What shall I render to the Lord for all his benefits toward me? I will take the cup of salvation and call upon the name of the Lord. I will pay my vows to the Lord now in the presence of his people." How are we supposed to answer the question posed in verse 12? How does money fit in with the answer? How could we ever repay God for all his blessings to us? The simple answer is that we never could. It seems that the best we can do is be generous with the cause of God and in helping our fellow human beings. When Jesus sent out his disciples on a missionary trip, he told them, Matthew 10:8, "Freely you have received, freely give." Our offerings contribute to the development of a Christian and Christ-like character. We are thereby changed from selfishness to love. We are to be concerned for others and the cause of God, as Christ was. Let us always remember that God so loved the world that he gave. In contrast, as sure as day follows night, the more we hoard for ourselves, the more selfish in our own hearts we will become, and the more miserable we will feel as well. It is up to us to determine what amount we give and what entity receives our gifts. But bringing an offering to the Lord is a Christian duty with spiritual and moral implications. To neglect this is to do spiritual damage to ourselves, perhaps more than we realize too. What do your offerings and your attitude about giving them say about your relationship with God? From the book In Heavenly Places, page 304, it says, "Every man shall give as he is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee." In the Bible system of tithes and offerings, the amounts paid by different persons will, of course, vary greatly, since they are proportioned to the income. With the poor man, the tithe will be a comparatively small sum, and his gifts will be according to his ability. The one to whom God has entrusted a large capital will not, if he loves and fears God, find it a burden to meet the demands of an enlightened conscience according to the claims of God. All who possess the Spirit of Christ will with cheerful alacrity press their gifts into the Lord's treasury. And from the book In Heavenly Places, 305, it says, "It is not for you to expect every blessing of God and return nothing. Through Christ we possess all things. Without Christ we should have had nothing but poverty, misery, and despair. Shall we respond to this love which Jesus has bestowed upon us? To be sons of God is to possess all things. What more can you want? If the Christian is not content with such an inheritance, nothing can give him contentment. We are indebted to the Lord for all we possess. Then let us return to the giver all that he claims as his own. Let us not commit robbery toward God. He who so loved man that he came from the realms of bliss, from his royal throne, and humiliated himself to clothe his divinity with humanity, has given us unmistakable tokens of his love and the value he places upon man. He who has made for us this infinite sacrifice summons us to estimate the value of the soul, to strike the balance between earthly gain and heavenly loss, between temporal success and everlasting failure. Have a wonderful, blessed day.